Howdy, everybody. Just me again today. So, a midday Timberwolves victory. I feel like I haven't seen a Timberwolves victory halfway through a day like this, like a 2:30 game, in a long time. What's up, JBX? Headshots here. We got Gerald. Welcome. Uh, Headshots. If JBX says 52 wins, yes, seemingly a possibility now. You have a super team for what? To lose to Denver by 20? Yeah. So the Brooklyn Nets look bad, but we're not here to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Also, we've got Victor Bidou. I'm not sure how to say that. Well, welcome to the chat. Hello from France. My goodness. We've got Australian viewers, we've got France viewers, French viewers. What am I saying? I don't know. But anyways, the Timberwolves win back-to-back games against the Detroit Pistons. Possibly to be expected. Like, that's probably something that we should be doing. However, we know our Timberwolves, and our Timberwolves like to surprise us and sprinkle in little bits of disappointment throughout our seasons. But this season does seem different. I mean, usually, and not that you should gauge anything off of one particular game against the Pistons or something like that. But, you know, I think in previous years, even with the talents that we have had, you would expect this team to maybe not do so well in these two games. Now, were these really fun games to watch? Not necessarily. Tonight never felt great. Didn't feel terrible, but we were behind a lot. We were behind at half, you know? And it didn't necessarily feel like crazy bad, but like it's still somewhat concerning. Interesting. But TP injury doesn't look too severe. That's right, Victor. And it looks like he was back on the court, or not back on the court, back on the sideline. What am I trying to say? Bench. And he even went over to like Jim, Pete, and Dave and was like, "Hey, why did they take away Malik's rebound or something like that?" So that's funny. But yeah, I hope it's nothing bad because like obviously we were gonna rely on him going forward this season for a lot of things. But speaking of relying on people, Malik Beasley kind of showed up tonight. So that's great. Austin, that new thumbnail photo is my new profile pic, right? It's pretty great. That'll be great to use come playoff times because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of these other fan bases saying that the refs are on our side, which would be just insane. But Timberwolves better than Nets at JVX, 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with JVX. You know, I don't think there's really any reason that we couldn't beat a Nets team, and we didn't beat the Nets. I can't remember, what did we do the last time we played the Nets? Did we beat them and put them on their little losing streak that they're on now? But either way, Damon's back. I'm not concerned. Pistons just play physical, and our team needs all the All-Star break to rest up. Yeah, that brings up another good point. So coming up to this All-Star break here, I am kind of down for resting a lot of players. Now, I really wish we would have rested more players during this particular series, the Pistons, just because I think that the Kings were playing back-to-back games at the Kings. So they're both in Sacramento. We should beat the Kings, and the Kings might even be making moves, so their roster could be kind of in shambles by the time we get there. But I don't know if you're going to, like, I don't know, maybe you'll rest a player on the first day and then play him on the second, or vice versa. But I would have liked to have had some rest more. I mean, DLO's been resting because he's been sick, but like, or not sick. What am I saying? Injured. But, you know, Ant's knees, which is another topic, but like Ant's knees are making me nervous. And like a lot of tonight's game, even though he had some fun in the fourth quarter, with almost posterizing Stewart and hitting the game, not winning three, but like hitting that last second three or last 30-second three. You know, those are fun things, but it's still concerning. There's still a lot of concerning things about his knees, and I do hope that he gets the rest that he needs, but he's going to be on the Rising Stars, and I don't know, have they officially announced like who the replacement is in the West for whoever's out? I can't even remember. I don't know, but all right, let's catch up. JBX says that they said we never have guys playing 40-plus minutes anyways. That is true, JBX. You're right. We are now no longer in the Tibbs days where we have to worry about like Cat playing 44 minutes, Ant playing 43 minutes, and DLO playing 42. Like, that's not happening. You know, we're playing a lot of games lately we've been playing under 30, so or under 35 for the most part. That's pretty good to see. Damon says Ant needs rest. Yeah. Headshot smart Marcus Smart for Malik Beasley and a first or second. I don't know how to feel about that. Obviously, I think Marcus Smart would be a great get for our team, and just think of our team if we keep Pat Bev and have Marcus Smart. That's interesting. There's definitely a mentality change on the team coming in from like last year. But yeah, the perfect time to rest Ant was these Detroit games. I agree, Headshot. I think it made too much sense to rest him during this. And we didn't. And realistically, he kind of rested out there anyways. The last game, he wasn't too great. In this game, well, I mean, he scored 25 last game, but I didn't really love it. And this game, he was okay. I don't know what he ended up having, but I don't know. You know, I think it would have been beneficial to rest him and play more Noel or play more even Jayden McDaniels, who's apparently going off. So, but hopefully the All-Star break gives him somewhat of a break, and hopefully these next couple games against the Kings are good for him. I feel like he could thrive at a Kings game, so that's why I want him to play in those games. But you know, we'll see. I think it's usually capped at 38 minutes. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody. I feel like I've rarely seen people get over 38. I think it's Ant not letting us rest Ant. That is another good point. All facts, but we need to rest to get him in the game. We need to rest him the first game in Sacramento and maybe in the second game as well. Yeah, but I see that's the thing I was just saying. Like, I feel like he could do well against. I think him in like these crowd environments, and Sacramento, even though they suck, their crowd's great always. So he's gonna be good, I feel like. But if we win this upcoming Kings game, rest him the second Kings game, I'm kind of down for that, right? Because after that, let's look at the schedule here. So, because like we look pretty decent going forward in the schedule. Yeah, okay, so we play the Bulls on Friday, still away. So, and then our next home game is really not until, our next home game is not until the 15th against the Hornets. So we still got a week and a half-ish until our next home game. Yeah, probably want to get him some rest then if we win the first one. But as somebody in chat, I can't remember if it was Gerald. Yeah, Gerald. I don't know if Ant's letting us rest Ant, because he might be kind of saying like, no, let me play. I'm fine. I got my McDonald's. I'm fine. But yeah, I want Ant to be healthy because I want the Ant that we had in the first half of the season to be there. I think Ant's expending more defensive energy a lot of the time than he is offensive energy. I'm not saying he's been perfect on defense, but I'm saying that I think that's where a lot of his energy goes. And he settles a lot on offense. But all right, well, if you haven't got him in already, get your grades in on our Discord. I put the Discord in the description, I think, this time. I don't know if it'll work. Hopefully it doesn't bring you to like the secret chat that I did the first time that exposes everybody's social security numbers. But I put it in there. If you need to join, feel free to join there. There is one that says tier list. You can put your grade in there because we're just about to get to the tier list. Also, okay, side note, the Cavs traded for LeVert today. They traded Rubio for LeVert, but they play the Pistons today. So there's no way that he's playing for the Cavs, right? Let's see if he's even on the roster. He doesn't even show up on the roster. He still shows up on... Yeah, he's just sitting on the bench, I guess. That would be interesting. But all right. Well, let's get right into the tier list. Actually, before we get into the tier list, I forgot. We have another thing that we do in the Discord, brought to you by the big boy in Discord. Let me pull it up here. So, let's see. Where did it go? Over-unders. So we do 4 over-unders. And the over-unders tonight were Karl Anthony Towns over under 30.5, or 30.5, my goodness, 23.5. I don't know what that came from. Ant over 3.5 assists. Or Ant over under 3.5 assists. Vando over under 5 or 8.5 rebounds. What am I reading? And then Taurean Prince, 3-point percentage under 40% or over 40%. So yeah, Karl ended up with over on he got the over on 24 on 23.5 points. Ant got the over in assists, 5 assists. Vando got the under in rebounds. Weird night for Vando. Finally busted my good betting streak with him, both points wise and rebounds wise. And Taurean Prince obviously got hurt and didn't play for the game, and he didn't take a three or didn't shoot a three or something. So we're good there. But yes, so, and it looks like the big boy, the guy that puts this together, got all 4 today. And I think I went, what did I do? I was wrong. I was actually right on the under for Vando rebounds, because he's been getting a few less rebounds and going more scoring wise, but he just didn't do anything tonight. And then I said under, so I was 3-1. Not too bad. I'll take that. But anyways, to the tier list. Oops, I gotta show you guys the tier list. You want to see it? Boom. There's the tier list. All right. So, as brought to you every night by JBX, JBX has put all the stats together for us, so we can, as if you are not already there in the Discord, you can see that we have all of the grading available for you there. I am pulling that up now, and we will go through it individually. I'm going to say my grade first, and then we're going to go on to the Discord's grade, and the Discord grade will probably greatly sway me, but we'll see. So, anyways, oops, I'm on the wrong game. I'm looking at the Cavaliers game now that they got the trade. So, for tonight, let's start with Taurean. Taurean really didn't do anything. I don't know if JBX even really put him in here. Let me see. Yeah, Taurean is in there, but he didn't play headshot, put a funny reaction, or maybe that was Rondo, I'm not sure. Discord was a lot more divided. Interesting. We'll have to see. So for Taurean tonight, not really anything. He didn't really play. We're going to not grade him tonight. We're just going to keep him in up next. Unfair to really grade him on anything tonight. Just sad. But hopefully he's back on Tuesday. Next up, let me try to go in order here. Or actually, let me go in order. Whoops, I lost the Discord. There we go. So Naz Reid. Let's do Naz Reid. He had 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 twisted ankle or knee. That was really weird. I think it's kind of interesting. You see a player like that go down like he did, and you think his career's over, but then he walks over to the bench and he's fine. I think there's just a difference. You have to kind of know the players. Because like when I saw him go down like that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even get that worried. I kind of know the way Naz reacts to pain and handles initial pain, to know that I was like, I don't really feel like he's going to be that bad. That obviously sounds stupid and crazy to say out loud, but like, I didn't feel like it was that bad. I'm not saying he's not in pain, but like, you just start to realize the players. So I was thankful that he was able to walk to the bench, but either way, I still think Naz is a high risk for injury, to our team or any team that may acquire him in trades or anything like that, because the way he plays for a big is fast, and he's got smallish legs, and it scares me. And and he's kind of like he'll be falling over a bunch. It's just like not what you want. So a little scary, but that's okay. Anyways, so for my grade for Naz tonight, honestly, maybe like a D, C, somewhere in that range. Just because this, like, you would hope for maybe a little bit more from Naz, but at the same time, like, he's not playing that much. So the Discord also gave him a D. One person gave him a C. I'd probably go to D just because you'd hope for maybe a little bit more out of him in the minutes that he played, given it was only 10. But still, I'll accept it. But he's not bad. That's fine. Just a little below average. That's my grade for him tonight. So, I put him up, but no one voted. I think. Oh, I thought I saw some votes in there. Maybe I put everybody onto it just before we started here. But, anyways, sorry, my eye is really itching right now. Turnovers. Oh, I didn't even look at the turnovers. What do you have? Yeah, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. Yeah, I don't know. Naz has just been not the Naz that we remember lately, and I think that's going to happen with a player like Naz. He's still pretty inexperienced on an NBA level. I mean, like, he's played a ton in the NBA, but like, he's lower on our chart, and like, we don't use him that much. But yeah, just inconsistent, and I think he's in a lull right now. which will be great because if he can pick it up late season, obviously we'll be very happy with that. But all right, next up, let's do. Oh yeah, I missed Jaylen. So Jaylen did almost nothing tonight. He played 7 minutes, 1 point, 1 rebound, 4 assists. 4 assists in 7 minutes is kind of insane. But the Discord. Let's see, where's Jaylen? Jaylen. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm looking. Yeah, honestly, for 7 minutes, I'm gonna give him a C. The Discord gave him a D, and I think I'm still gonna give him a C, even though the Discord was unanimous. I mean, he played 7 minutes. I'm not like I can't blame him for not getting that. He did have 2 personal fouls, I guess. So maybe we'll call this a C minus and call it fair. But let's see. That was for Prince. Nas was a D. Oh, I see. Yeah. He wasn't playing well before the injury. Yeah, no, they gave him that weird ranking. There. Noah's probably gonna get scouted now, so it'll take some games to learn how to play through defenses, knowing how about him now. Yep, I think that's true. I agree. Yeah, so I'm gonna give him a C. Quickly, we'll do McLaughlin. Another decent McLaughlin night. He had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and honestly, him and DLO out there looked pretty good. Weird to me, but it kind of works, and he was a plus 14 tonight. You know, kind of hard to say anything against him. I mean, me personally, I'd probably give him a B. You know, nothing crazy, obviously, but like probably better than I expect out of him. So I'll give him, yeah, plus 14. Like, that's pretty good. I'm going to say B. Let's see what the Discord said. The Discord. Drum roll, please. For Jayden McDaniels is a B. Yeah, everybody agreed. So everybody thought it was a B. Well, I agree. So Baby Mac gets a B tonight. Next up, what do we got? We've got Malik Beasley. So Malik, interesting one. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of 15 shooting, and 5 of 9 from 3. Looked pretty great tonight. And honestly, you guys heard me talk about it every show that we did early on in the season. But I was like, you know, once we get to the second half of the season, I think Malik's going to get there because of conditioning and all that stuff. And here we are. We're at the point where maybe he needs to start showing up. Tonight he showed up. Can we have that show up consistently now? I don't know. So tonight though was a great night. For me, I have a feeling I'm probably going to be lower than Discord on this one just because I expect a lot out of Beasley and have hoped for a lot out of Beasley. I'm God, I want to go with a B plus. Just because an A is like super, super good. And I guess that is super, super good. I mean, 20 points in 21 minutes is pretty wild. We'll say this. I'm going to say B plus, but if the Discord's A, or more people said A in Discord, we'll move it up to an A. So, the Discord says Malik Beasley as an A. Everybody said an A. Okay, so I'm the one off. A for Malik Beasley tonight. Good job for him. I mean, he earned it, but I guess I am definitely with the 9 rebounds. I guess I'm overlooking that. That's pretty insane. And they took one away from me. It should have been a 2010 game. So that's my bad. I probably should have put him in his A, but either way, we were unanimous for Malik. True, he was our Arby's king tonight. Which, by the way, they have not brought any Arby's tickets out yet, so don't worry. I'm keeping an eye out while I'm streaming. Multitasker streamer. All right. Next up, Jayden Mcdaniels, and then we'll get to the starters. Jayden, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks, and that one sequence of like a 3, a block, and another 3 was insane for somebody like me who is not a Jayden believer. I have never questioned his ability to defend. But to see that all happen at the same time was interesting and definitely good. But you all know I have my doubts about Jayden. But Beasley, see, isn't this what's expected? See, Godfrey, that's closer to what I'd say. I'd say throughout the season, my expectations have lowered for sure. I've gone down from like, oh, I expect 20 points a game to I probably expect somewhere between 10 and 15. But I definitely understand what you're saying, Godfrey. Definitely. But yeah, so for who was I on? Jayden. Jayden did well tonight. He had a great. It felt good out there. I'm a bad person because I feel like I'm biased. I feel like I just have a different opinion on Jayden than a lot of other people. I just think that when Jayden's playing well like he was tonight, that like he's at his highest value. And by value, I mean trade value. So I know I'm in the minority in that opinion, but I just feel like this is like a time in which you want to do that. Which, by the way, I'm seeing people on Twitter saying that about Ant and wanting to trade Ant now. And I'm like, he's in his second year. We need to calm down. But Jayden, we're keeping Jayden Cam. Yeah. If he was a starter, I'd be expecting this from Malik. Damon says, what is it going to take for you on McDaniels, though? I see a lot of potential in his play and elevated recently. I tend to agree with you on that, C. So, Damon, good question. What is it going to take for you to get higher on McDaniels? For me, I just think that it's more of like, I feel like what we're trying to do with him is exploring every possible option and trying to make him like, it feels like we're trying to make him a scorer. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be scoring, but like we're having him dribble and like cut, and like watching him dribble and try to drive is kind of painful to me. Every time I see him driving, he's got his arms way out. He's got the basketball is like just about to be stolen. I like him as a defensive stopper for sure. But like then you kind of have Vando, and it's like they kind of go against each other. So then they're trying to find this different role for him where he can be more of a scorer. And like sure, he's making threes, and that's the one thing I will give him credit is that this season I feel like he's got a pretty good 3-point percentage. I can't look it up right now, but I'm sure it's pretty good. But it is more of like I don't know. I see potential in McDaniels. I do, but I just don't ever see it coming to like full fruition of like, wow, McDaniels is suddenly this Scottie Pippen-esque player. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't seen many players on the Timberwolves be drafted and turn into what we think they're going to be. But I just really don't see him being better than like a good 6, 7, 8 player on a team. So he's an awkward Vando. I kind of like that's true. I'd rather convert McDaniel's potential into a real player who can help us. Yeah, see, yeah, exactly. Jayden's ceiling is Jonathan Isaac. See, yeah, I shouldn't really compare it too much because I haven't watched like a ton of Jonathan Isaac, which is weird because I've kind of liked the little bit that I've watched from Jonathan Isaac, but I just feel like you got to let him develop by making mistakes. See, and I guess that's kind of what I think Gerald was saying, and more of maybe what my opinion is that like you're right, it's gonna take a long time, and he's gonna be a project for a little bit, a playable project. He's not like unplayable, but like I would rather trade Jayden now and get an established piece, not for like the finals run this year or something like that. So maybe like you could hang on to him, but I just think that there's going to be a moment where in his potential growing that it doesn't turn out to be better than much of what he is right now. So that I don't know, or even what he is right now. So Jayden's shooting 43, 30, and 77. Interesting. God, I feel like he shot pretty well from 3 today this year. But I don't know. I guess the moral of what I'm saying is that I'd rather have, not the moral, the point of what I'm saying is I'd rather have a win now player or win in the next couple years player than a Jayden player. Like a Jayden player seems like, I don't know, if we had him deep on our team where we were taking him out off of like a deep bench kind of situation, I think I'd be more comfortable with that. But considering he's out there so much, like he's out there, I don't know. And I don't even know, like he didn't have turnovers tonight, or he did have one turnover, but like I just feel like he is turnover prone and could very easily, once teams start to really defend him, because they're not defending him right now, if they really defended Jayden, they could easily get a steal every possession. So sure, that's a learning thing, but I don't want to deal with that this playoffs. I don't want to have Jayden in the playoffs holding the ball and having everybody rip it out of his hands because he just can't. So, Smart has 5 years on his contract. I'd be glad to lose McDaniels in a trade for him. Kinda what I'm thinking. 30% on 3.4 attempts, yeah. But Damon, you bring up a good point. I mean, like I definitely know that I am in the minority and that a lot of people believe in Jayden, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right, obviously. Like how could I know? I'm somebody that thought Johnny Flynn was a better pick than Steph Curry. I thought Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio were better picks than Steph Curry. I thought Steph Curry would never succeed in the NBA, but then he changed the league. But I think that's what it takes for certain players, is that you have to change the league in order to make it work for you. And Steph did that in a huge way. So obviously not maybe the best person to be talking about development and thinking of future things, but I think that just shows that like it can go either way. But Vando produces just as much as Jayden if he was forced to be an offensive player like Jayden. Yeah, see, and that's, I took the over on points for Vando tonight because I've kind of felt like recently we've been trying to get Vando into more of a scoring role. And, kind of like not DeAndre Jordan, but kind of, like he's obviously not the same size, but something to that level where he's like in the dunker and like, you're trying to get dunks and layups basically. And like he gets a lot of fast break points. So, I was kind of thinking that tonight. Obviously, it didn't happen. He only had 2 points. But, I do think that if you put him in a position to score more, he would. And I also think that kind of fits our team more. I think Vando and DLO could have some good connections like that with the bounce passes to dunks, layups, and stuff like that. We just have a lot of players. We have Jayden and Vando, who are very similar in ways. And then you have like a lot of bench players like you've got Beasley, you've got Noel, you've got Taurean Prince, all three good pieces. And Taurean Prince is probably the most different out of those two, but like those three. But we've got a lot of pieces right now that we can move for one player that could help us more than the 3 players are. So it's hard to judge with Big Mac. We are a very young side. So many of our youth getting substantial minutes. Yeah, exactly. And, I think that's what I want. In the playoffs, youth is going to scare me and it's going to be painful to watch. But anyways, I'm kind of on a tangent right now. And I have to grade Jayden. So Jayden had a good night. I think for Jayden, that one sequence alone, the 3-block 3, was really exciting. And to hear that block legitimately got me out of my seat. I was working during the game. Sorry. Picking up the toy I'm fidgeting with. I was working during the game, but I literally stood up when I saw that block. That was insane. So I'd say probably again, I'm probably going to go with a B, but if the Discord says A, I'll go A. So Jayden McDaniels tonight. Where is he? Jayden, everybody said A. God, I'm so off tonight. All right. Anyways, Jayden's an A. You guys win. Headshot says, I think the Timberwolves have half a win now players and half future players. Cat, DLO, Bev, Malik, and TP are all win now. Vando, Ant, Jayden, Nas, and Noel are the future. Yeah, and maybe that's a good balance. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good balance at 50-50, 70-30, 90-10. Like, I don't know, obviously, with being more experienced than less experienced. But like 50-50, if that works, I think that's good. But because then I think you start to have more, and I'm always everybody in our era is gonna compare people to like the Golden State Warriors, and I'm not saying that the Timberwolves are Golden State Warriors; they're a completely different team. But I think that team grew with some older talent, but they had a lot of young too. So and they kind of nurtured that young core to take over. But yeah, no, it'll be an interesting matchup once we get to the playoffs, because you'll see those young guys get in situations that they haven't been before and be really pressured and see what happens. So, unanimous A. You got to stop saying that. What do I got to stop saying? I don't know. I can't remember. Timberwolves 73-9 next season. Yeah, I don't like it because it's playing way too safe, and we're treating Ant like a backup. He wouldn't be playing right now and be resting and treated like a franchise player he is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I'll change my mind at the Discord. Yeah, no, JBX, yeah. I basically, if I feel it, I know it's going to happen. But at least I'm not cheating. I promise I'm not cheating. Anyways, thank you for getting me back on track. I could getting off track here. Malik Beasley says we feel like we're the best bench in the league. Is that a hot take or not? That might not be a hot take. Right now, we've been playing really good. Okay, let's get on to the starters. Finish off the rest of the team. So, I feel like I'm missing somebody, or maybe I already graded somebody accidentally. Anyways, let's do Vanderbilt because he didn't really do much tonight. So, Vanderbilt had 2 points, 5 rebounds, a block, 2 personal fouls, and 1 turnover. Not really much of anything. Honestly, this was a pretty disappointing game from Vanderbilt. I was hoping for more, but it's maybe a tricky game just because of how physical Detroit is. I'm kind of leaning towards a D. And I think the Discord agrees. So let's check out the Discord. What did the Discord say about Vanderbilt? Okay, so it's kind of in the middle. I guess I'm just like a jinx. I'm a total jinx because everything I say is wrong. But 2 people gave him a D and 3 people gave him a C. I think this is less than we expect, though, from Vando. I mean, we always get the effort from Vando, but like we didn't get as much as we maybe expected on a given night. So I'm going to... He got banged up early, but yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I like that Wombat. I mean, I didn't like that he got injured, but he did get injured, so there is, I think that's a point in his favor for not going to a D. But I do think that he was still a D. He still played 25 minutes. I thought it was only 25 minutes, so a lot of time. And I think we needed more. Also, kind of interesting choice to have Vando come back in once Jayden was doing so well in the fourth. Jayden did go on a little bit of a cold streak, but I don't know. All to say, I'm going with a D tonight for him. So D for Vando. Next up, let's do Pat Bev. Pat Bev had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 8 shooting, 5 personal fouls, and he called somebody short. I can't even remember who now, but it was somebody. I can't remember. Let me see. The big boy is here. Welcome, big boy. Vando is expected like 8 and 8. Yeah, exactly. And for him, it's really easy because like a lot of other players, you can't really judge them off of their stats. But I feel like Vando's somebody that you can very easily judge off of the stats they get in the game because his hustle plays are 4 rebounds and steals and scoring. You know, so like all of that. But yeah, he called DLO. Thank you. He did call DLO short. But yeah. That was funny. And that was amazing. You know, those are the plays, those are the games where you're like, oh yes, I'm so happy we have Pat Bev, I think. I like it. I mean, I think that's good. I don't know how well that stuff works against these playoff teams, but if it works, you know, whatever. Called Diallo short and a baby, yeah. Pretty amazing. Pat Bev. So for tonight's grade for Pat Bev, what would I say? By the way, if you're new here, we've got the grades in the Discord, and I think I have the Discord linked. If it works, let me know. But it works versus everyone if you're winning. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can't do it if you're losing, which is why I was kind of worried about Pat Bev in the beginning of the season because we weren't winning. We were 4-9 to start the season, and I was like, oh man, Pat Bev can't stand behind anything. You know, you have to win in order to have those kind of things. And I was like, oh no, he needs to be on a successful team for this to work. But Discord links work. Good. Didn't show everybody's social security numbers, right? But yeah, no, Vando, I think D tonight is fair. And oh yeah, I already did Vando. Pat Beverly. Pat Bev tonight, I think I would probably give him a B. I think this was a good game. Pretty close to what you expect though. But I just think that was too funny of a moment to not put that in there. Didn't shoot particularly well, but also didn't take a ton of shots. 3 of 8, 1 of 4 from 3. I could do better, but you know, 5 personal fouls is kind of a lot. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with a B. I'm gonna say B, and we'll see what the Discord says. I'm not jinxing anything. The Discord says B, and one person says C. Oh, we just had a new grade come in as well. So B and C. Looks like that's what we had for tonight. I agree, obviously. So let's get him in there. B. Pretty good game, pretty close to what we expect, and we won. So you know what? Maybe we'll bump you up to a B. His fouls were mostly on sure shots, though. Oh, okay, yeah, true. That's a good point. Good. All right. Well, we've got 3 players left. Oh, because DLO's not in the up next. That's why I was like, who are we missing? We'll do DLO. So DLO is back, and the title of our show tonight So D'Angelo Russell played 30 minutes in his first game back. 22 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. 7 of 18 shooting, so not great. 3 of 7 from 3. 5 of 5 from the line. And he was a plus 11. So one of the better plus-minus players tonight for the Timberwolves. I thought that was a pretty good game from DLO. I mean, the shooting obviously was not great. And it's weird because the shooting for the Timberwolves in general was pretty good tonight. I think they shot like 7% or something like that. I don't even know. But they shot pretty well. As Ashwin's saying in the chat, passing was awesome, clutch threes. Yeah, no, he did make some clutch shots. And obviously having his playmaking passing ability is a luxury for this team. And a reason why before he was hurt, why I was very nervous in him getting hurt. But we were able to survive without him, but still, it's nice to see that out there. So I like that. This is a good game, though. I have nothing against this game, and I don't necessarily think it's like in some insane game. Is it what we expect out of DLO? Maybe. Let's see what chat says. Chat says, D'Lo said that the shin injury wasn't real bad, but wanted to make sure before. And honestly, JBX, see, that's the thing. I just want all of these players to be like that. Right now, we are able to survive, especially this stretch of games, with players being injured. I don't want players being injured when we're playing in like the last 10 games of the season. 5-10 games of the season. I want everybody on board there. So, sounds like shin splints, which are a pain. Yes, I've heard that they do take a long time to recover from too. I expected him to be off a lot more because of his injury. Yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting him to even come back before All-Star, honestly. I kind of, especially with us winning and playing pretty well, I was like, man, he might not come back. But report just came in that saying that the Kings want to move Bagley bad. Interesting. D'Lo hasn't been great in creating for himself on the fast break. Hope that trend stops, or more people will run with him. Or that more people will run with him. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, with the same thing you're saying about D'Lo, we're kind of reverting to some things about Towns, where Towns has the ball and none of us are moving again. We had a little stretch where we started to move around Towns and it looked pretty good, and now we're kind of leaving it up to Towns. Luckily, we're playing not such good teams where Towns can kind of exploit them, and has, which has been good to see. But I still, like, when Towns is backing down, getting double teamed, and everybody else is just standing still, it's pretty frustrating. Same with D'Lo on the fast break. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling again. D'Lo, I think I'm gonna give him a B tonight. Let's see what the Discord gave D'Lo. Oh, they gave him an A, and we had some A's in the chat. There was one other B. Wow, I'm surprised. I mean, that's a good night, but interesting. I feel like the people have spoken too loudly. We need Godfrey to catch up in the stream, so that Godfrey can share his opinion. Ashwin says D'Lo. We've been slow getting those breaks. D'Lo or Little Mac will break, but none of everybody's just tired, which is like, let's rest. We need the All-Star break. Just need the All-Star break, and then maybe some more breaks for players in between. I don't think there's anything that should be holding us back right now from, like, oh, Ant, you should take a game off, like, just as a precautionary measure, or Cat, take a night off as a precautionary measure. Like, why? And same with D'Lo, even though he's been hurt and getting games off, like, these should just happen, I think. But D'Lo, good passing, bad shooting. B from Jake Erickson. Man, we've got it pretty divided here. This is interesting. This is probably the most interesting one we've had. All over Discord said A. Am I reading it correctly? Oh, we got a new vote in. We've got some new votes in. We're going to go to a B. We'll put him high. A for Black History Month. Wombat. What the heck? We're going to go with a high B, just to even it out. Interesting that everybody thought A. I mean, I didn't think he had a bad night, and I think when he's on, like, he's a big reason why we're good. But I got an A for D'Lo. We're going B plus. On the starters, we were pretty split. Interesting. Good foreshadowing. The greatest point guard performance since Magic jumped to center in Game 6, 1980 Finals. True. True. We'll give DLO a B tonight. I just think it's on the fence, but I didn't think that this was like a great game from DLO. I think this was a good game. I mean, it's very exciting for us to see him back, but I think we might be taking that into account for his grade. 22 points, clutch shooting. Obviously, playmaking's back again. Magic Johnson-esque performance, but you know, I'm gonna go with a B. Anyways, we're moving on. More Nate Knight can only be a good thing. Yeah. I went A, first game back, plus a steal. Yeah. I mean, I could be convinced either way, but at the same time, it's tricky. Like, I don't know. A, I'm thinking like we're talking like this is gonna be like a popular highlights video on YouTube or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad judgment. Anyways, Ant. We're moving on. So Anthony Edwards, 17 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 of 12 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 personal fouls, and he only showed up for a quarter and a half. No, but he kind of did. Ant did not really go up to my expectations tonight. I didn't realize that he was about to throw it down on Stewart. He didn't, but I just haven't seen him drive like that in a long time, and that felt like a short amount of time for him to get up the steam. That would have been amazing. I did slightly jump out of my seat for that, but it didn't happen. But at least gives me some confidence that he's feeling good on his knees. That was in the fourth quarter too, so that's good. But 6 cents says Pat Bev, yeah. Wombat says D. Yeah, you know, honestly, I almost want to give him a D as well. I think defensively, Ant has been okay, but we're struggling a lot with him not showing up. And then when he shows up, it happens in spurts, which is fun, but like we need a consistency. And again, he's a second-year player, so I'm not ready to like have some harsh judgment or assume that this is just like who he is forever. Same with Jayden, you know, like I mean, I have much more belief in Anthony Edwards than I do in Jayden becoming like a crucial piece of this team. But yeah, I think tonight was probably a D. JBX, as I say that, says I went with a C. Only because he kept us in the lead when Detroit. Yeah, I mean, he did. He closed out the game. Ant's not playing so great since he called himself Jesus. Yeah, no. Funny enough, I almost ordered a custom Timberwolves jersey that said Black Jesus on the back, but I didn't, just in case. And so far, it seems like maybe the right decision. But I mean, I still believe in Ant. I think I am increasingly getting worried about his knees, just because he said it. You know, he said it like he's like, yeah, I'm tired and like my knees hurt, and maybe that's just him being open and honest. And like every player feels like that. No, they just don't say it. It's hard to know, but like it scares me. He's 20 and his knees hurt, and he looks gassed out there. He looks gassed. But seems like this is Ant's rookie wall. Like body might, yeah, it definitely is not used to this amount of punishment. Not in college. I'm seeing some fun shirts show up at Target Center. Ant said that and God said, "Hold my beer." Yeah, true. That basically is true. So, yeah, he has not been as good. I'm gonna go with a D tonight, but let's see what the Discord said. The Discord for Anthony Edwards also gave him a D. Some people gave him a C, but I would probably lean towards D, just because we want more out of him. We definitely want more from him in these situations. So, yeah. Well, Jared, I'm about to, after this, I'm actually going to record the trade thing and post it probably tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that in the channel tomorrow. So turn your alerts on because we'll have it out. But we'll talk more about trades and everything, about a bunch of trades that were sent to me on Twitter. So we'll have to do that. But next up, I didn't even grade Ant. D. We're going to do a D tonight. We expect more. He did keep us in the game late, but I don't know. I expect more out of him. Maybe that's just too much of an expectation for me, but the Discord also kind of agreed. So, All right. Next up, big trade. Yeah, Wombat. No doubt. The fact that I say that I'm gonna do a trade video tonight and post it tomorrow. Maybe I should just post it tonight. But anyways, um, next up, last up, Karl Anthony Towns. Torian Prince is gonna stay down there. We're not gonna give him a grade tonight. But Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points, 12 rebounds, only 2 assists. I thought he was going to get a bunch of assists again tonight. He's been on a pretty good streak lately, and he did not. So I missed the over there. 11 of 18 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. Only 2 personal fouls, 3 turnovers. But yeah, I thought this was a good game from Cat. And, this is where the tier list gets a little broken. Because it's like, I thought he had a great night. I don't think there was anything super wrong. He had some complaining with the refs, but I thought tonight most of his complaining with the refs was valid. So I don't really want to fault him too much there. But I do feel like it was good. But at the same time, like, what do we expect out of Cat? We expect a lot out of Cat. So I think there has to be some kind of nuance to the tier list. I'm leaning A, just because I thought this has been a good game, and this has been a pretty good stretch of games for Cat, even though it's been against lesser opponents. We didn't know it as much when we were playing the Nuggets, but like we didn't realize that the Nuggets were quite bad, apparently. Even though they beat the Nets by 20 or something today. Is that really who that team is? I don't know. They're injured, and they're not looking great. So, but Cat's been great. Cat's been great over the last few games. I'm tempted to give him an A. And he has done, you're right, JBX, he has done great with his fouling lately. So, what did the Discord say for Karl Anthony Towns? And JBX is right. It was an even split 3 A's and 3 B's. So, chat, I need everybody to put your grades in for Karl Anthony Towns tonight. Okay, Damon already did. Damon's got an A, so get your grades in. Because now we're on the fence. What are we gonna be, an A or a B? Because he is expected to do a lot. This also wasn't necessarily like an insane game, but it was a good game. We're getting a lot of B's. Headshot says A, but Headshot, I think you're legally obligated to say A since you're a moderator for him. A for Cat for JBX. Jared says B. Jake says B. Wombat says B. Ashwin says A. If Ashwin says A, man, that's interesting. Okay, now everybody's perfectly split again. This is insane. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the telltale rule that we use. So when we're on the fence about and in between something, if they got the win, we move them up. So we are moving them up, moving Karl Anthony Towns up to A. And Wombat gives an extra. Look at that, flip a coin. We're moving him up to A. Karl Anthony Towns, congratulations. I know you're watching. Headshot, I'm convinced you're just like a burner Karl Anthony Towns account. But Headshot, he's an A tonight. Rigged, I know. I've disappointed you twice now, Wombat. But you know who didn't disappoint you tonight? The Timberwolves. The Timberwolves win. And now where are we in the standings now? This is interesting. So the Timberwolves now, we're still in 7th. And unfortunately, yeah, you're right. So since Denver did win, we're still 1 game back of the 6th seed, which is too bad. It would have been really fun for the Nets to win tonight and us to go into the 6th seed, because then you have 2 games against the Kings and you have so much to fight for, because then it's like, oh my gosh, we can maintain 6 and maybe even move up to 5. Insane. Really exciting, though. Really exciting stuff coming up. And yeah, so somebody asked earlier about a trade. We will be talking trades here. I'm going to do a video off stream because I have to get some of the stuff up on the screen and talk about it there. Why stop at 5, though? Yeah, I mean, no, there's no reason to stop at 5. Just right now, those are very attainable. 4 is a little less attainable, and 3 is almost unattainable. I mean, we're like 8 games back of the 3 seed. There was a time in which I thought maybe, but I mean, you'd have to have some of these teams really start struggling and us continue to go on such a hot streak. 4 seed is very doable. Just going to take a little bit of time because we are 4 games back of the 4 seed. That is a possibility, though, for sure. Nets are losing so they can get Kyrie for 4 games in the playoffs instead of 3. Oh my gosh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. We need home court playoffs headshot. If we got a home court playoffs, that'd be insane. Oh, that'd be insane. Dallas up by 6, 2 minutes before the half. Oh shoot. Yeah, the Hawks have been, apparently I saw some stat on Bally Sports North that said like the Hawks are 14-9 against the Mavs in their last like however many games. Or they've won 14 of their last 19. That's pretty crazy. So hopefully the Hawks can pull that one out because man, to be big, to be close to the 5 and the 6. You want us to be engaged, you know, because I think if you're in that realm of like the Lakers right now, that's danger because you don't really have much to play for because the Lakers are, I mean, they're only 2.5 games behind, but you know, like we're not gonna, hypothetically, we should not stop winning at the rate that we're winning 500-ish the rest of the season. And the Lakers, honestly, they're gonna have to fight for kind of a lot. Almost at a point, you might have to just accept that you're gonna be in a play-in game and just win your play-in game and try to beat the number 1 or 2 seed in Denver, what I'm saying, in the Suns or Golden State. But yo, if Brooklyn faced the Knicks, how could Kyrie even play? I hope we aren't the Knicks this year. Go crazy and be a top 4, 5, 6, 7 seed. Yeah, I know, but I don't think we will. I think the Knicks were kind of phantom good team last year. I don't think that was super. I don't know. I don't view anybody on the Knicks as like super talented. You know, RJ Barrett has been good lately, but like I don't know. Everybody's not consistent. Everybody's not trust. You can't really trust anybody. So yeah, this doesn't feel like the Knicks headshot. True. Surprised Dallas has a good record. Yeah, apparently Dallas has been on some crazy run too lately. They've won a lot of their last few games. My life will be better after the 10th. Yeah, that is one last thing that I'll finish on, which will be a great transition into me talking about trades and such. We've got, you know, there's a lot of different trades flying around, and I after the last few games, we talked about trades, and things start happening. We get mentioned for Ben Simmons again. We are talking about all these different players, and you know, realistically, I'm gonna be fine if we stay put. But it is nerve-wracking because we can make some big moves, and like I don't think it's impossible that DLO could even be traded. How likely do I think that is? I think it's like 1% or less. But it's possible. It certainly is possible. So it's nerve-wracking, and I think I'd like to get past this point so that I just know: do we have Torin? Do we not? Do we have Beasley? Do we not? Are we going to trade draft picks for a player like Turner or Sabonis? Sabonis wouldn't maybe make sense. I like Sabonis, but you know, are we going to do something like that, or are we going to try to stay put? Is Jayden still on the team? Like Jayden might not even be on the team. But I do think that it's more likely than not that we don't do anything. I keep hearing reports that we're trying to make a lot of moves, but I don't know if that means like, oh, we're trying to move like draft picks and whatever for a small player. I don't know. You know, we could end up with Marcus Smart. We could have Marcus Smart on the team next week. Pretty crazy. If Ben doesn't play the whole season, he will have lost $31 million. That's insane. That's pretty wild. But anyways, that's all I had for tonight. Today, not really night yet. I guess it is night now. But I'm gonna go feed my dog, and then I'm gonna make a video and post it. I'm gonna aim to post it tomorrow. But if trades happen, I might just have to do a live tomorrow. But what day is it? It's I don't even know what date it is. It's the 6th. Okay, so 4 days. I was kind of thinking it might be kind of fun to do some, maybe a live trade deadline thing. I might be working though. What day is that though? What calendar day is that? So that would be a Thursday. So I could do it a Thursday, maybe. Yeah, I could do a stream on Thursday for the trade deadline. That might be kind of fun. Pull up Twitter and react live with everybody. But thirsty is the word. Thank you, Ashwin. 52 wins. W stream, W's. I love it. We gotta get emotes in here. We got emotes in the Discord now. But anyways, I appreciate you all. Thank you all for stopping by. If you haven't already, like the stream on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We will be back probably on Tuesday night. I think we'll be back on Tuesday night. And then again, I might even do another stream on Wednesday. I'm not sure. Games are feeling important lately. So we'll see. Maybe only do one of the two. But either way, I'll let you know. Keep you posted on Twitter and Discord. I appreciate it, everybody. Yes, keep an eye out on Twitter because the Pacers are about to go nuts. So, anyways, thank you, everybody. I will see you Tuesday night. Have a good night, everybody. Intro's the outro.